Cyborg, welcome on in, and congratulations on being officially the fastest thing alive, redeeming first in the chat for the stream. Tids, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Of course, I hope you're doing well as well, Cyborg.
Hero Quest is the best game ever made, and anyone who says otherwise is wrong.
Hello, Cypher, welcome in.
Oh no, Mormons!
It's a miracle I'm still painting tonight, I'll be honest with you. Because I'm running late, as you may have noticed. All the work happened right at the end of my day, and I just had to deal with it.
Hello there.
Hello, Violet, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Hello, Steggy, welcome in. Had a decent day yesterday, then slept like wank. Oh, Tids, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Hello there.
Hello, Senno, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so the plan, such that it is to work on this guy today. I, as you can tell from the background, have tidied up my paint station, which really helped with getting me back into the mood for painting. But it's been a couple of months since I last did any work on him, and I am a little nervous about it. On the plus side, shout out to Redgrass. My paints from last time I painted on stream, which was the last time I actually painted anything, still wet. Fucking love this wet palette. It's great. Music's a tad on the loud side. Okay, let me fix that. How's that? Is that better? I'll talk a little bit more in the hope that, yeah, okay, cool. It's because I've got it really quiet on my headset, so it sounds perfectly fine to me. So I'll turn it up a little bit so that it's balanced more. I've also got the mic further away from me than usual because otherwise it's just too much around me to be able to paint properly. Okay, so I'm a little nervous about this. No, I have not, Cyborg. Just because it's been so long since I last did anything with it. But hopefully it'll be okay. I have faith. Not a lot, but I do have faith. I think the main body of him was done. I'm gonna need to make some adjustments to the camera. I could autofocus, but I don't think that'll help much when I'm actually painting. Yeah, autofocus does not know what to look at. So let's not bother with that. I bought this. Okay. There we go. It is indeed, Seno. This is the version 1, like the generation 1 Frontier Wargaming portable paint station, which was very kindly bought for me by my mother as a birthday present a couple of years back during lockdown. I've actually only used it as an actual portable paint station once, but it was really useful when we moved house. There are not many differences from what I can see between the version 1 and the version 2, but one notable difference, which you won't be able to see because of the angle of the camera, is you see that light bar there? They use a different kind of LED light bar now with different struts to attach it to the case. So when I lost the power supply for mine during the move, I had, well, 3 months where I couldn't use the light bar because I couldn't send them a message saying, "Hey, can I get a replacement power supply for this?" Because they're using a different light bar now, a different power supply. Um, but thankfully, I found it whilst I was tidying up my office. Damn removal men, all a bunch of useless gits. I see what you did there, Cyborg. That's not true. This was my fault. I packed my hobbying stuff up. The removal men can be blamed for a lot of things, but this is not one of them. Okay, so for those that weren't here when this was discussed all those months ago, or that don't remember, the plan for this guy is that we are going to carry on doing this sort of verdigris Green Knight style armor all over. I'm really, really pleased with how this turned out, actually. Let me see if I can turn the light down a little bit. Bring it forward, maybe? There we go. So that you folks can actually see the detail a bit better. I'm really proud of how this turned out because it was a very experimental thing for me. I'd got no idea what I was doing. I was going for a non-metallic metals approach, but using colours that are not colours that are generally advised, and it's actually come out really pretty. I'm quite proud of myself. Well done past me for managing to, if not invent a technique, find a new way to use a technique that is well established, shall we say. So he's getting the Green Knight look all over. Then once all of the bits and bobs are done and he's fully assembled, we're going to put snow on his base. And here in the green stuff that I put on the base, we're gonna make there be less snow there so that the ground is more visible through it. And I'm gonna get some of the smaller rival scenics flowers that I've got and put them in his shoe prints. Shoe prints? Boot prints? What's the proper word for foot armor? It's one I'm not sure of. But if anybody knows, do let me know. Shoesies, yes. His shoesy prints. Sabatons. Really? Sabons. Okay. Well, Greaves. Isn't that the leg bit? The leggy protectors? Or does that also include the foot bits? God, this is a weird way to start the stream. Anyway, his shoe prints will have little flowers growing out of those patches. The idea being that he's sort of bringing the spring with him. Because I really liked that as an idea. It was partially inspired by a few different animations that I've seen over the years, and also partially inspired by a very beautiful tattoo design that somebody did. But yeah, so that's the plan. And obviously, he's done, but all of the bits that go with him, his bustle, all his little tassels and swirls and things, both of his arms, more flowy tassely bits, and a hand, which has a butterfly on it as well. Or is the butterfly separate? Fuck, the butterfly's separate. That's gonna be fun. This little one, second one in. Sabaton is also a metal band. Yeah, that's what threw me there. But I suppose you have to get your name from somewhere, don't you? Yeah. This little thing here, tiny little thing here, is a butterfly that goes on his fingertip. So that's gonna be a fucking nightmare. And of course, no knight is complete without his fancy sword. So we've got his sword to do as well. I'm probably going to need to bring the camera down a bit. Can? Yeah. Because I'm probably going to be working about here. So a little lower. Bless you, Porthos. Means you can see the edge of my paint station, but at least this is comfortable for me, which is important. So, I think I was umming and ahhing about whether I make this, the fabric here, the same colour as his pantaloons, or do them a different colour. And I'm thinking what I might do is do the fabric the same colour, but then there's like little flowers and stuff in the bustle, because the bustle is all leafy. Because he's a flower knight. And I might do the flowers in Pepto Squidball. Squid pink, for those not in the know there. Just so that there's a little pop of a different colour in there. And I think pink will look quite nice. So yeah, that's the plan. But what I've got to do first is, because as much as most of the paint's still wet, I'm not going to have enough for the whole thing. I've got to figure out how I mixed the fucking colours. Thankfully, I have a habit when I'm painting stuff. Let's bring this closer so you can see. This is the version 2 Redgrass wet palette. I backed it on Kickstarter because I have their original wet palette and absolutely loved it. And when they said they were bringing out a bigger one, because this isn't the studio size one, this is just a normal size version 2, and it's bigger than the original version. When they said they were bringing out a bigger but not studio size one, I was like, ooh, gimme. So we've got a golden yellow here, and I only have one golden yellow, which is, funnily enough, Citadel Golden Yellow. Hello, Sue. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. And I think what I've mixed that with is probably, looking at the paints that I left out, a bit of Elfic Flesh and Vallejo. So we'll pop the golden yellow over there. There's not a lot of that left, so I could be in troublesome territory soon if I'm not careful. So this is Elfic Flesh. Very, very pale, sort of. They call it a flesh tone. One thing I find quite frustrating is that you will often find that paint colours that are marketed as flesh tones are all Caucasian. There are more skin tones in the world than white, paint manufacturers. GW, for the record, have gotten better about that lately. They do now have some, like, actually... Oh gosh, Cypher, no worries. I hope the meetings go swiftly and successfully. Take care. Yeah, they have actually got some things that are labelled as skin tones now that are darker. Which is absolutely fucking fantastic. Finally. But paint manufacturers need to get out of that really bad habit of only calling things skin tones if they're white. So it's a dick move. Hang on a second, folks. Wait! Get your nose out of me bin. There's nothing in there for you. Dogs. Well, dog. I only have the one. One's more than enough. Oh, another thing I found. Oh, thank you for the treat for me, Soup. Another thing I found whilst I was cleaning my office. Thank you for the treat for Porthos as well. I'm sure it'll distract him for all of 2 seconds. All of my paintbrushes. So I have my entire paintbrush collection now. You can see I've never even used this Army Painter brush, which I think came with my paint collection. So I'm going to get out one of my cheap and cheerful brushes, because I need to mix some paint. We'll go with this one. Now this is a decade and a half's worth of paintbrush collecting, just for the record. And refusing to throw them out until they are naught but a single bristle. And even then thinking, maybe I can paint pupils with those. It's not an approach I advise. Yeah, that's solid. Well, no, it's still tacky, but it's no good for us. This has got a dog hair in it, though. I'm going to quickly mix this up, and then I'll redeem those. I'll deal with those treat redemptions. I haven't forgotten already, I promise. Yeah, so that's a little too dark, I think. Though, might be good as the base. And then we can do more elfic flesh in a separate one. So I'm not actually gonna mix up the other colours. I'm just gonna mix up this for now and do all the things that need to be this colour, and we'll work from there. Because that way I won't have another situation like this where I'm on hiatus for a few months and then have forgotten how I mix the colours up. Okay, we're going to need more than that, I think, so we'll just put a good dollop on there. And then we'll add it in slowly. Well, fairly slowly. It's kind of hard to add something so pale in slowly, because even a little bit can make a big difference. Actually, if we... Yeah, that entire glob has made it slightly better. Hello, Sinister, welcome on in. The painting desk returns, it does indeed. I am finally in the headspace to paint. That was a bubble. Okay, that should be enough. Because you want it to be sort of lemony, but not... It'll be darker when it's actually on the miniature, if you see what I mean. We kind of want to use this as like a highlight. There we go, that looks about right. So, this paintbrush was part of a pack of about 20, all with different coloured handles. They are just small scale acrylic paintbrushes that you can buy from a craft or art store. Or you can buy them on Amazon and places like that, if you prefer not going outside. And they were about a tenner for the whole packet. You do not have to buy Army Painter or Citadel or fancy fucking Kolinsky Masterclass brushes to paint miniatures. You can just use cheap and cheerful acrylic paintbrushes that you can get from the shops. They'll work just fine. There are ways to, not strictly speaking cheaply, but less expensively, be involved in the painting side of the hobby. You can use actual, just like tubes of acrylic paint, as long as you carefully water them down so that they're nice and thin when you apply them. Because all this is acrylic paint. Hello, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Cooking a curry. I seem to have cooked a lot of curry recently. Nothing wrong with that. Curry's nice. The treat for me will be, considering what I've been doing, this seems appropriate. It's a creamy coloured unicorn. Thank you very much. Shoot. Yeah, the Works is actually a really good place to get paintbrushes from. Though, if you don't have the Works in your country, then it's basically like a little bookshop, but they also sell arts and crafts stuff and things like that. And the treat for Porthos. Good boy. He was very subdued about the way he took that then. Okay, so we've got our nice sort of lemony yellows. Lovely stuff. For anyone that's hoping to, want of a better description, steal these paint recipes, I don't know what golden yellow is called. As you may have guessed from the type of label that's on this is an older Citadel paint, which I've rejuvenated and stuck in a dropper bottle to keep it alive, and it's worked really well. But I don't know what this equates to in the current lineup of paints, I'm afraid. It's a lovely, vibrant colour, though. Lovely, sunshiny yellow. So 40k third ed paint, I think. Yeah, more than likely. I started in the hobby just before fourth ed landed, if I'm not mistaken. Or fifth ed. But yeah. Probably Avalon Sunset. No. I've got Avalon Sunset. It's a lot darker. Or if you're on a budget, you could use egg yolk. Well, I know you're joking there, Tids, but there are things you can use on a budget if you've got them lying around the house. Like, there's a fantastic artist, Christina Amawan, who also did my profile picture, the cute mascot Trash Panda. She painted her first Warhammer miniature, and a lot of the like effect paint she used was actually just makeup, because she'd got makeup lying around the house. You know, a little bit of blush or eyeshadow or something like that, and as long as you seal it in, it will work just as well as a paint or a texturing brush or something like that. A lot of the fancier looking stuff that you'll see a lot of mini painters do is from nail art kits. Doesn't surprise me, it's still sort of paint in a way. Exactly. One of the best things about this as a hobby, in my opinion, is that you can get creative with it. You don't just have to buy the things that are in a hobby shop. You can dig around in your old makeup. You can get dirt out of the garden, because yes, she also did that. I mean, that's basically what some of my rival Scenic's basing stuff is, but they've treated it so that it's not like got any pests or anything in it first. But you can dry flowers and put them on your miniature bases. You can use stuff from nail art kits. You can 3D print things if you have a 3D printer. There are the limits to what you can do with a miniature and what you can use on a miniature are only as strict as your imagination is, if you see what I mean. And I kind of love that. As much as I found all these brushes again, I'm probably still going to just use the ones that... Oh, I need to show you that brush. You'll like that. I'm probably still going to use the ones that I always use. Because I like them. They're my comfort brushes. We'll take that one out as well. Just take a handful of the brushes that I think I might need today. Because I am going to try and not just use the Psycho all the time. Look at me, being a grown-up. Trying to branch out and do different things and try new things. Oh, I've got 2 regiment brushes. Wicked. But before I start painting, I want to show you a paintbrush. Now, some folks in chat will probably appreciate this slightly more than others. This is a Citadel paintbrush. Have you folks ever seen a Citadel paintbrush like this? Old brush. I have a couple of old brushes that I stole from Slow that have somehow survived all the years. Bugger me, I ain't seen one of them in yonks, I know, right? He was going to throw a bunch of them out, and I was like, no, give me the old brushes, I must treasure them. Old brushes and squigs. That's how you get to me. Old brushes and squigs. So we're not going to paint with that one. That one just lives in the pot with all of its other brush friends. What we are going to use today... Actually, I think I might use this one. This one should be a decent size. If I can get the cover off of it. Oh, it's a dry brush. Nope, never mind. That's why it's not been used. Dry brush. In that case, we want this one. We're going to use the regiment brush that I've already used. It's an army painter brush. Hobby be doing Mork's work by rescuing old models and brushes. Yes! Yes, I do. So this is already quite thinned out. All of my mini paints are pre-thinned in the bottles, because that's the way I like to work. It means that I get a bit more consistency than if I just attempt to thin them on the palette. But I also accidentally put a bit too much water in this one, so. Now we've got all these like vines and stuff on here, so I'm going to do my best to paint around them. But if we catch them, that's fine, because we'll use a smaller brush to paint them in later. Basically, Tids, that's how it happens. Like, Slow's mum bought him a packet of paintbrushes. And said, "Here, can you use these? You paint things." And I saw these and thought you would like them for painting things with. And he looked at them and went, "Yeah, thanks, Mum." And I went, "I can use them." Hey, Primeby, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. And now they are part of my paintbrush collection. They're a bit long for painting miniatures with, because you end up smacking yourself in the face while you're trying to do fine details, which is why they're not in the pot. But I quite like using them for larger figures. I did see a Pudlord. Hello, Pudlord. Welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. So I think we've got like some poofy sleeves on his arms that we'll need to paint in these colours as well. But it'll just be this and the poofy arms. You can tell how long it's been since I did a painting stream because I keep nervously looking up at the OBS screen to make sure that I'm painting inside the frame so you folks can see what I'm doing. Oh yeah, how are we feeling about the me cam, by the way? Is this too much? Is it okay? You can kind of see my figure collection behind me, which is cool. Kinda. um, like if folks don't like this, then I can adjust it for next stream. Because I appreciate me looking at chat and it actually being like I'm looking at the camera maybe a bit much. But I don't look up at chat often enough and for long enough for it to be like a creepy stare unless I'm doing it for a bit. If you see what I mean. So I'm hoping it won't be a problem. Also, I'm like small and off in the corner, so it should be slightly less creepy. Yeah, I've got like a fancy little thing to keep my camera on now that bends and twists in funky ways, so I thought I'd try and use it to its maximum potential. Oh, question for lovely peeps in chat. Um, Atomic Heart. Have you heard of it? And if you have, what are your thoughts? Oh, Tid's fantastic choice. I really like Gnome. I think they're good fun. And Kraken Wanker is in my regular like rotation, believe it or not. Lot of bad shit around that game. Now I know there was things about the devs being in an unfortunate location. Hello, Steen. Welcome on in. You're doing well. Hope the rest of your stream went well earlier. I was in a meeting, so I didn't get to say goodbye. Oh shit, I did not know that, Prime B. And I didn't know that either. Fuck. That's okay. Thank you. Like I've seen a little bit of somebody playing it. They were given a key for it, I think, because it was a sponsored stream. Um and I saw an encounter with the upgrade bot and was just like, oh god, no, I can't. And I muted the stream because I just could not cope with the way the upgrade bot was talking. But yeah, that's just that cemented it for me that I'll be not playing that, unfortunately. Like style wise, it looks like a very stylish game, and the environmental puzzling looks fun, but with all of that, yeah, I'm not, I'm good. Just met it and I hated it. Wow, really? That bad? Because I know Slow was super hyped for it, and then the the stuff about the bots came out, and he was like, "Yeah, you're not going to enjoy this game." um, aggressively horny Pudlord, like so aggressively horny in a single interaction that it made me feel sick. I was excited too, and then everything came out and it made me deeply sad. Oof, that really sucks. Okay, so we'll be avoiding that then. But seeing as he's in chat, Steen's been playing Detroit Become Human, and like because it's Quantic Dream, I'd kind of gone, eh. I've actually been really enjoying watching Steen play it, and I might give it a go if it's ever cheap. Like if it's discounted, super discounted, I might pick it up and give it a go. Maybe not on stream because it's not a happy game, but maybe an off-stream game. Hot take: the Soviet Union weren't particularly nice. You are 100% accurate there, Pudlord. I don't think that's a hot take at all. I think that's an accurate take. Hello, Rocket. Welcome on in. Be doing well. It's very enjoyable. I think I got it for £5 on CD keys. Nice. Yeah, like I don't have any issue with there being sexual content in video games. It's not for me, but it doesn't do for us all to be the same. What I do have a problem with is, no pun intended, them really shoving it down your throat. Also, like, there's such a tendency in video games for the relationships, both romantic and sexual, um, to be portrayed like the relationships that are portrayed, even such a habit of them being really unhealthy, you know? And I would like to see more queer positive um and healthy romantic and sexual relationships in media. And not just that, but not just queer as well, but like healthy romantic and sexual cis relationships, because folks use media to navigate the world. Thank you, Slow. I can't hear it anyway. Um,
Hello there.
Somebody's just knocked on the door. I think it's a delivery for me. That's slow. It's a parcel for me.
Sweet puns.
Yes, I am running very low on sweets. Just pop it on the floor.
You go, dog.
The dog can't get into it. He's not that smart.
Look at him go.
Yeah, he can inspect it. Customs Officer Porthos needs to do his job. Isn't that right, buddy? He's having a good sniff at the box. Sounds gay, I'm in. Teaching English as an intern, so that's exciting. Oh, that's really cool. I don't care if the Kerbals get home safely, only the science! No worries, Violet, you take care. Thank you so much for popping in today. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Hello there.
Hello, Longship, welcome on in. Stupid sexy Geralt making me want to watch all the naked scenes and therefore completely fuck up the in-game relationships. Oh no. Damn it, Geralt. And very appropriate timing on that comment as well, considering what I was just talking about. Yeah. I would like to see more healthy relationships portrayed in video games. And movies and TV. Like, movies are the worst for it. Oh my god. The amount of toxic relationship traits that they present as being romantic is just ugh. I'd like to see more healthy relationships in general. You and me both, Pudlord. And I think portraying more healthy relationships and more diverse relationships in media is a really good step towards making that happen. Oh god, don't even get me started, I know, right? Do not remind me of other M. I'll do my best not to. Okay, this bit, it doesn't matter if the paint comes off because it's going to get stuck to the base anyway. So I'm going to hold it like this so that I can actually see what I'm doing. Because I've not got any of this bit yet. Because I've been holding it there. I really like this colour. Like, I'd hate it if it was on the walls, but I think it looks really nice as a fabric colour. It feels very... I want to say it feels very Victorian, but maybe that's not the right phrase. You know what I mean, I'm sure. Maybe Edwardian. I don't know. It feels very old-timey. An old rich person would wear this colour. Nearly bleached sepia, yeah. Lupin and Zenigata have a more healthy relationship than that. Yeah. I mean, they do have a wonderful, if strange relationship, those two. They've got a bit of a Batman and the Joker thing going on. Like, neither of them is ever going to do something that would truly harm the other, because they can't really function without each other at this point. Like, if Zenigata puts Lupin away for the rest of his life, who's he gonna fucking chase? And if Lupin manages to maim/kill Zenigata, who's he gonna prank? Who's he going to trick into going to exactly the place where he's going to be, shaking hands with him when he's dressed as a completely different person, and then thumbing his nose at him as he runs away? You know? They need each other. Oh, nice, Primbles. I'd argue it goes further, considering the first thing Lupin does to Zenigata in part 2 is start to kiss him. Well, yes, they have a very close relationship. They're very good friends. Just to the side of Batman and Joker, has anyone seen the Harley Quinn Valentine's Day special? I haven't seen any of Harley Quinn other than clips online, and that is remiss of me, and I'm sorry. I do need to watch Harley Quinn. I really want to watch it. Speaking of actual good queer representation in media there. I hope everybody's week is going well. Oh, for anyone not on Twitter who watches the Saturday streams, good news. I managed to fix Silent Hill. So what was happening was there is a known bug with certain emulators that if they have a widescreen hack, which this one does, and the widescreen hack is turned on, 2 cutscenes within the game will cause the game to crash if the widescreen hack is switched on. Now, I knew about that, turned the widescreen hack off, and loaded from a save state, and the game still crashed. So what I ended up having to do was shifting stuff around, like literally moving it from one drive to another, and then taking the save state and the virtual memory card that had my actual save on from inside the house, and moving them to a different virtual memory card. And then the game went, oh yeah, you did actually turn this setting off, so we're gonna stop crashing now. I don't know why it worked, but it did. So on Saturday, I will get us through the cutscene, and if it crashes on the cutscene again, I've actually got a save state. There we go. Just after the cutscene, so I will play you the cutscene on YouTube, and then we will go back to the game. Which is a pain in the arse way of doing it, but hey, if it fucking works. Hello, Hans. Welcome on in. I wish Godzilla wouldn't eat the hobbitses. They didn't do anything wrong. Also, they are small and very fatty, because they eat a lot of high-fat content food and walk about as little as possible. Really, you want something more free range, like an elf. Good eating on an elf. Just like me. Me too, Tids. Me too. Like, literally, the Keto Godzilla? Yes, Torpor. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. Literally the most movement I've done today, other than going downstairs to get myself a cup of water, was to move from one side of my desk to the other. so I could paint. Okay, so we're actually, believe it or not, running low on our paler yellow already. It's taken all of that yellow to cover this big old bustle. Fat bustled nights, you make the rocking world go round. Okay. But we are getting there. There's a couple of areas right at the back that aren't taking the paint properly for some weird and wonderful reason. Like that area there. So I'm going to leave that. And try and focus on the areas that are definitely going to be seen. We've got a couple of bits here where now the paint's dried, we can see that it's still... Primer's still a little visible. That's okay. Fucking love this tune. I don't know who put this in, but thank you. Love a bit of the specials. Like, as much as this is technically before my time, this is the Scar I grew up with. This is my generation of Scar without being my generation, if you see what I mean. I didn't come into Real Big Fish and stuff like that until much later. Grew up loving the Aquabats, though, because they're just fun and silly. Thank you, Tids. In a second, I'm going to do what is essentially a dry fit. It's going to see which bits at the back are actually going to be visible when this is on his butt.
Goddamn right, homie.
Huh? What are we right about? Might just pass out asleep soon. Oh, bless your hands. No worries. If you just want to chill out, you don't feel like you have to chat or anything like that. There is no requirement to. Which brush? This is the Regiment brush. I am not using the Psycho. Psycho count stays at 0. Oh, nuts. Soon. Hello, Mod Hell. Welcome in. My continued survival on this hell globe goes okay. I hope it goes okay for you as well. Right, dry fit time. This is a big bustle, which goes here, and that bit is hella fucking visible. So we're gonna mix up a little more paint. Oh, you know what? Oh god, he's been on there so long that the putty's stuck to him. That's not good. Like, I refreshed the putty for him as well. Which is probably why it's so sticky, actually. Oh. Sticky. A bustly boy. He is indeed. He's a very bustly boy. I'm going to take a little bit of the putty, not the whole thing. Tiny little bit of putty. And then do this. Because then I don't have to worry about scraping any of the paint off with my mildly sweaty fingers. Goth is cool and good at stuff. This is very true. Tidders is a very good mod, and often bans bots before I can even see the messages that they've sent. And, like, we're a month and a half on, I think. ish from my testing Decim by running the knackers off of him stream, and I still think about the super swift fash ban that Tids enacted during that stream. It was fucking glorious. Like literally, I'll be lying there at night and I'll and the voice in my head will go, "Hey, remember that time when Tids banned a fash from the chat?" Goth is a fucking sniper with the banhammer. Yeah, it's glorious. Both the banhammering and the and Tids. No, just the one. Just the one. It is Todrick Hall. Who's been putting Todrick Hall in? That's not a complaint for the record. Nice one, Pudlord. I like Todrick. Good energy. It's bound to happen every now and then, mod. This should be about right. Oh no, more. Yeah, Tids is a fantastic mod and a good bean. Very good streamer too. Welcome back, Tids. I was just telling everyone about how that time that you swiftly banned a fash from chat lives rent free in my head and just occasionally pops up when I'm trying to sleep. Like, I know I'm the one with the fast emote, but fuck, you should have one. There we go. That last little drop of elf was all we need. Yeah. Spot on look. Lovely. That one was fun. Yeah, it was fucking beautiful. That's what it was. And we have some Kraken Wanker. Lovely. God, that sounds so weird out of context. It's the name of the song. Just in case, no, it's not caught up yet. I think I've got enough of this colour to paint all the stuff that needs painting now, though. So that's good. I'm not going to be able to actually fit this onto him tonight because there's other paints that need applying first. Like this here, this little swirl is actually a leaf. So we're going to want to paint over that in green. The only reason I've painted it this sort of pale lemon colour is because it's the only way I can guarantee I can get into all the crevices around it. Good old gnome, yep. I really like gnome. I think they're fun. And this is just a really good tune to work to. Like, I'll put this on while I'm doing stream admin after a stream sometimes. Also good to paint to, it feels. A little bit in there. Just such a funky tune, you know? Sudden urge to stab something. Because no more. I really like the music video for this as well. It's just a dude dancing. Of course, cause gnome. Okay, just checking. Video is hilarious by contrast, it really is. Genuinely, I adore the music video for this tune. I also really like the music video for Lucky Animals, Devin Townsend. It's just people rocking out, including Devin himself, in their back gardens. That's good fun. I love a music video that doesn't take itself seriously and that isn't trying to be high art. Not saying that like high art music videos aren't perfectly acceptable, perfectly reasonable and valid, but just to have something like that that's like super fancy. And artistic and well directed, and then the next thing on the TV to be some old guy in Hawaiian shorts doing a conga line or something like that to a piece of metal music. It's just, I love it. Have some fun with it, you know? And Eight, welcome on in, how you doing? Okay. I think we're about there. We got any other bits? Yep, here. Okay, I think we're good. That looks fairly clean, right? Just chilling. Well, you are welcome to chill out here. Sorry. I can see Porthos on his bed in the hall from where I'm sat. And I just looked out while I was having that drink there. And he's sat on the very sort of apex of his butt, with his hind legs up as far as they'll go, and he's scratching one of his forelegs with one of his hind legs, and he's pressing his nose against the wall and licking it as he scratches himself, and it's the weirdest fucking thing. And now he's looking at me because he knows I'm talking about him. He's so weird. What a distinguished creature. The epitome of elegance. I know, right? Like, there's window lickers and then there's Porthos. Just licking the wall while he scratches himself. Hey, buddy. Oh, hi. The dog has come for a visit and you can't see him because he's too far down. No, get down. You're gonna break something. Oh, it might look probably something unreplaceable. That looks so much smoother than the pantaloons do, and I'm kind of pissed off. Like, it's come out so nice. I'm really happy with that. I have just noticed a tiny little bit here that darker than it should be. No, we'll clean it and we'll use a different brush for the next bit. Actually, I'm going to put this on my legs so it's easier to deal with. So this is something that I used to do before I started streaming my painting, that I stopped doing for some weird, wonderful reason. But I have this little cloth. It's actually the packaging from a pillowcase, believe it or not. So it's quite nice material, but it's the perfect size for a paint cleaning rag. So I have it sat on my leg, and I clean the brush on my leg, because then I've got something that's got a little bit of give, but not too much, because my legs have always been fairly solid. I was trying to think of a nice way of putting it, and that was the nicest word I could think of. But I always used to keep the rag on my leg and do it there. But since I started streaming, I've always just had it next to the tree trunk-tastic. Yes, I've always just had it next to the water pot, and it's such a faff. So I'm gonna go back to having the rag on my leg, where I can actually keep an eye on the paintbrush and stuff. Okay, so that's this bit done how it needs to be. It's a good idea. Thank you very much, Seno. I do occasionally have good ideas. Very occasionally. Okay, so we're gonna paint the poofy sleeves. Ooh. Okay. I don't know if that's available on Spotify, but I'll have a look for you. Right, and I'll add it in if I can. Oh, if my keyboard's close enough. Stand by. Okay, there is a track from Shooter's Blood and Teeth on Spotify, but it's just one of them. Will that do? Hobby of the Mighty Views. Okay, I'll add that one in, and I'll take the one that it's put in instead out for you. Okay, if it'll let me. Oh wow, we've got quite the queue. We'll put that there. We'll move that one. There we go. The Shooter's Blood and Teeth theme. There we go. That was hard. Is now in the queue, in the place it should be in. Sorry about that. Sometimes the bot is very clever, other times the bot is very stupid. Oh, hello, Alex. Welcome in. Hello, Bobby Ban. Hello to you too. That's bots for you, yeah. It's only as smart as the person that programmed it, and to be fair, the person that programmed it is very clever, but these things can be difficult. Oh, I saw a little bit of. Let me see if I can type this. Actually, no. I'll Tids, I'm gonna have to get you to do something for me, or well, Tids or Prime B, any of the mods that are quick enough. But it's gonna be Tids, isn't it? Let's face it. Shout out to Gerb Person, please. So I was watching a stream that raided into Gerb's stream the other day, and she was playing Metal Gear Solid 5. She has never played a Metal Gear game before. It was an experience, and I am concerned for how she's going to come out of it. Because that is not a happy game, and she's so lovely and sweet. That's a hard one to jump into. Yes. Like I was telling Slow about it because Slow's a massive Metal Gear nerd, and he was like, "Oh God, no! This is going to be a full like destruction of innocence thing, isn't it?" I was like, "Yeah." Oh God, the poor sod. I mean, she seemed to be having a good time with it. I had to go and walk Porthos, so I didn't see the end of the stream, unfortunately. But she was having a good time with it. I was just like, oh no, I know how this ends. But good luck. But yeah, she's a fantastic streamer. Well worth a follow if you aren't following her already. Really, really sweet. And on the note of blind runs of Metal Gear Solid games, I think it was a S emotional damage. Yep. I think it was SGDQ last year. Somebody did a blind speed run of one of the levels of, I think it was Metal Gear Solid 4. Might have been, no, it wasn't 3 because I've played the beginning of 3 and it wasn't that. But it was so cool. Like, I was in awe of this person doing the thing fast and not being able to see what they were doing. It was great. Okay, I need to figure out two things. One, what the fuck brush am I going to use for this? Because it's small. Two, how am I going to paint that? Oh god, that's really small for you folks, I'm afraid. But that's like the sleeve. What a tune. This is kind of the unofficial theme tune of the channel. Like, I think an 8-bit version would be more in keeping with the vibes, but I do love the original version. Those hobbits are rather suspicious. Yes, they are. Concerning hobbits. Bravo. This is what I hear when I wake up in a silly, goofy mood. This is just what is running around in my head most of the time, every day. Yeah, I have no idea how I want to paint this. Like, do I want to make this metal or fabric? I think I want to make it fabric. But if I'm making it fabric, do I want to make it a different colour? Do I want to make the sleevey bit pink and then paint the little vines on it green? Do I want to paint them yellow? I don't know. I'm going to start painting the puff sleeve because I know what I want to do with that, and shout your suggestions into chat. Someone made a fellatio-based text input device. Seeing its lewdness, am I allowed to put it in? Okay, I don't know if we can get away with having it in Twitch chat, but feel free to pop it in the Discord. Imagining hobbits sneaking around in cardboard boxes. Doesn't that happen in the Lego Lord of the Rings game? Which I am A-okay with. Paint it black. Oh wait, you did. I see what you did there, Alex. I see what you did there. Well done. Okay. Regiment brush is too big. Oh, hey everybody. This is one of my first paintbrushes that I used for hobbying. Can you tell? By the metric fuck ton of paint that stuck to it. Well, I guess, Alex, the universe knew that you loved that bassline and decided to give you that one, because it's a random sound effect. Character might be too big. Okay, we're gonna go... Okay, we're gonna go with the standard brush. I was learning that when the Queen died, no joke. Oh my god, that's amazing. It does happen in Lego Lord of the Rings. Thank you, Pudlord. I'm going to use the standard brush, which I've never used before. I've just removed the protector from it for the first time. But that's going to be a decent size, I think, for covering sleeves. I'm going to... We don't have as much purchase with this piece Because I don't think this is going to work. No, it's not. Okay, I'm just going to have to hold this. And that's fine. It's fine. They played this when I saw them live. It was genuinely such a nice experience seeing Madness live. They were one of the bands that, back in their heyday, were often incorrectly associated with skinhead culture. Um, but the people that actually listen to them and enjoy them and have continued to enjoy them into their later years, lovely fucking people. It was genuinely one of the most wholesome gigs I've ever been to. Like, people were getting fucking trashed, because that's what you do at a Madness gig, apparently. But they were picking each other up and they were dancing together and people were hugging each other, and you know, they didn't know each other. They were just having fun and being happy and dancing to the music, or wobbling to the music in the case of the drunk people. It was just nice. It felt very much like a community event, if you see what I mean. It's this type of communal street life that the high-rise block is destroying. Yeah, that's fair. Saw Madness in Scotland, fucking loved it. Oh, we saw them in Leicester. This was ages ago. We are still on camera. Good. Thank you to the folks that have been paying attention to me prattling and putting in shit from my youth. Much appreciated. If you've never seen the Aquabats Super Show, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. They're so silly. Welcome back, Sinister. Full of chicken and rice. Oh, lovely. I've got an entire tub's worth of roast dinner. My dinner tonight. So I made a roast dinner yesterday after work. Because we had a joint of meat that needed eating. That I bought at Christmas. And we didn't eat at Christmas. We just had that last night. And I've got the leftovers today. You know, I don't think I've ever seen the Aquabats live. I would like to fix that. I imagine their gigs are really fun. I think they were a download one year when I was there, but I didn't get to catch their set for some reason. Maybe we got caught in traffic. Yeah, folks may notice that I occasionally reference one of Aquabats' songs. When there is pizza to be had, particularly if there is pizza to be had on a Friday. keep forgetting. I'm actually going to a gig at the end of next month. Be my first gig since I moved. It's exciting. And it's in Glasgow, which is a place I've never been to. So that'll be exciting too, I think. Oh god, Queens of the Stone Age. There's a band I don't think about very often. Not in a bad way, just, you know. I have a massive urge to watch Napoleon Dynamite again. It's become Brody and I's go-to comfort movie with a few beers and a bottle of wine. Fair play. It was never a film I could get into. I think part of the problem was when I was at college, everybody was obsessed with it and they kept telling me to watch it and telling me that it was the best film ever. So when I finally got round to borrowing it from someone and watching it, my expectations were set way higher than it was physically possible for the film to achieve. Um, so it may actually be a really good film, and I just don't remember it. I don't remember it that way because of all of the stuff that surrounds it for me. Okay, I think I think that's as covered as it's gonna get. Oh, missed a bit. Not quite as covered as it's gonna get. Come here, you little bugger. There we go. Pop that there. Do the other one. I'll tell you what, having my hand in this constant pinchy shape is a little uncomfortable. I'll be glad when these pieces are done, just so that I don't have to hold them anymore. So, what do people think about the sleeves? I think they're sleeves. Oh, they're not, are they? I think he might be wearing a single gauntlet. Oh, no, no, no. He's wearing two gauntlets. He is wearing two gauntlets. It's just that one's attached to his sword. So I guess they do have to be green then, because they are gauntlets rather than sleeves. What do you think to the vines? Shall I paint the vines a different colour? Make them sort of a focal piece on his armour? Shall I paint them in pink like I'm doing with the flowers on his bustle? Or should I keep them the colour they of the rest of the gear? The sort of verdigris green. I have never heard this version. I think I've only ever heard the radio version. that doesn't have some very fast Spanish off the end of it. I wanted to put on Millionaire. Did it not find it? Was that the problem there, Rocket? Check DMs when you have a chance. Is it a thing I need to check before the stream ends? Okay, I will check it now then. Sorry, I don't make a habit of checking DMs during streams. Oh god. Oh, okay, fine. Sorry, my boss is off this week and next week. And my colleague is in a completely different time zone to me. So I said to her, okay, I've got to go now, but if you need anything, just like drop me a message through our messaging system. And I had 2 messages on the messaging system and panicked that they were like super emergency things that I needed to deal with, but they're not. Okay, let's have a look. Thank you, Rocket. I hope that's going to make its way into the Discord, because that's fucking great. Anyway, thank you very much for the treat for me. Let me see if I can get that track for you. Rocket. This one? Yeah. Wow, that's got a really long name. Why would you? Why? Good God, Queens of the Stone Age. Learn to edit. I have added Millionaire to the queue, Rocket. The reason it didn't find it is because the actual title of the song is so offensively long that it didn't know what to do with the text search. It's alright. Like, the only reason I managed to find it is because it was buried 5 tracks down in the recommended ones. Did they pull a Fallout Boy? It's like they took they pulled a Fallout Boy and a Panic at the Disco at the same time, Tids. What's the actual title of the song? Hang on. You think I ain't worth $1, but I feel like a millionaire. Album version with interlude. I mean, obviously the extra bit there was something that Spotify's put on to signify different versions of the track, but still, yeah, they decided to pull a mid-2000s emo, and it has resulted in it being difficult to find it in Spotify. Always nice, those concise song titles, I know, right? I love Tom Cardy. I still sometimes think about what life is like in the universe where Weird Al actually went to architect school instead of becoming a musician. And I know I've mentioned this on painting streams in the past, but it's another one of those things like the swift banning of the fash from my channel by Tids. that just occasionally pops into my head, and it's just like, yeah, I wonder what life's like for them right now. Alternate universes are fascinating. I agree. I love the idea of them. Oh, I was watching the Hunter the Parenting folks' sort of explanation of the World of Darkness video the other day. And I've got to admit, it has got me thinking about maybe running World of Darkness at some point. Likewise, I sometimes ponder what would have happened if Jack Black had decided to be a serious musician. He's got so much musical talent. Yeah, I'm glad that he's a silly musician, though. Like, he's not even just a silly musician, he's just a silly man. And we need that in this world. I'd love to play a World of Darkness campaign. Because, like, every time they slag off Great Yarmouth, place is a shithole. Fair. Back in my day, you could pop over to an alternate universe and be back in time for tea. I mean, yeah. One of the reasons that Steins Gate is one of the anime that I will always like go back to as a good anime for people to watch if they're not into standard anime. Because I think it deals with the idea of parallel universes very well. It's got some fucking issues, don't get me wrong. But I'm getting to the point now where I have to say that about literally everything. It's like like at some point I'd like to play Catherine again, but every time I think about it, I think about the fact that it's got a laundry list of issues with it. I just really enjoy the gameplay. Okay, do we have any more bits that require the yellow? Let's check before we get ahead of ourselves. I'm actually because I've got the Flower Knight on my wall now because I found him. I'm just looking at the actual art for him, trying to figure out what color his gauntlets are. But everything's green, so that's not very helpful. Monster of the Week is very fun. I have a copy of Monster of the Week. I have a copy of a lot of things. I've also procured a copy of the Dark Souls tabletop RP, which I am very intrigued by. Oh, I remember now. I did the pleats in the sort of green colour. Okay. Tids, you there? You're gonna have a job to do in a minute, and it's one you want to do. Because I'm gonna put some highlighting on the pantaloons to tidy them up. So, means I'm breaking out the Psycho.
that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it.
It's oh, what was I watching? I was watching a YouTube video about Howl's Moving Castle, the anime, the other day. And the person doing the video used that clip from American Psycho over a clip of like a video clip of Howl talking, because in the English dub, Howl is voiced by Christian Bale, and it fucking wrecked me. The idea that Howl Pendragon is actually Patrick Bateman. Just had a silly thought for an audio command thing. Sorry, Prime B, that completely derailed me, and I was like, oh god, what? What could it possibly be? I'm slightly scared. It's a nice gun, but the engraving gives you no tactical advantage whatsoever. Yes, love that. If you can provide me with the sound, you can have it. I will make it so. Christian Bale did a fantastic job as Howl. He did. And I am not denying that in the slightest. Thank you, Prime B. Love how you just had that to hand. Conveniently. Okay. This doesn't count as me stopping using the Psycho. I'm just mixing up a little bit more paint of a darker variety because I don't have enough for what I need to do. There we go. A little bit too much golden yellow in there, I think. Yeah, still a bit too much. That's fine. It's a really fine line with these colours. It can be a little difficult to get it just where you want it. I was so close to just going, and then just beat the devil out of it then. We do still have that sound command, I think. I don't think I turned that one off. So why I would ever consider turning off a Bob Ross sound command, I don't know.
And just beat the devil out of him.
We do indeed. Oh, I heard Chibi-tan doing a little dance there. Thank you, Buff, for the treat for Chibi-tan. Very kind of you. And has made them very happy, as you can see. Oh, I don't think I ever put something else in the place of the donation goal once the fundraiser was over. I was looking at the. Oh no, it's the activity feed. The activity feed's vanished. We can fix that. If I can figure out where it is. It's audio. Up here. Here we go.
Hello there.
Mono, hello. Welcome on in. Excuse me a second. Let's refresh the cache to the current page. Why are you not showing up? Oh, you're down there now. What are you doing down there? There we go. What's it doing down there? Silly thing. There we go. Better. I was watching Monologue play Hi-Fi Rush earlier, which is a game I will be playing again on Friday. Because, oh my god, it's so good. And I really want to share it with you all. Mono is so much better at it than I am, though. Timing-wise, he's just got so much better rhythm than I do. Oh, I would have been there anyway, Mono, but yeah, I'm definitely going to show support for a wonderful streamer who's playing a fantastic fucking game. I'm a rhythm fan, but I need to work on my combos. See, I'm a rhythm fan as well. I've 100%ed Elite Beat Agents, including like the difficult shit that it gives you post completion. But I'm older now and I'm slower. But yeah, watching you just getting perfect combo after perfect combo today was most impressive. You're much further ahead than me. I am about halfway through the level after the one that you finished up on. I think is the way to describe that. So I've beaten Rekka and moved on to the level after that, and I think I'm about halfway through that level. And there is something in the intro for that level that I am very much looking forward to you seeing. Got to admit, I hope I'm there when you see it. And I hope when I get to that point in my stream playthrough, certain folks in chat are there for it, because I think they will very much appreciate it. Oops. Is it the Irish redhead? No, it is not the Irish redhead. I'm pretty sure the Irish redhead comes later. So for those that were there for the stream on Sunday, it's Poundland Psycho Mantis next. And there's something about the way that particular character is introduced that I think certain folks will find very amusing. Okay, I can't fix that until I mix up some more teal. That's fine. We'll leave that for now. I know I've made that mess. I'll clean it up later. So all I'm doing right now is just trying to add some depth onto the pantaloons. Make them look a little less flat. I'm also tidying up some messes that I made last time I was painting the pantaloons while I'm here. Oops. Punching the camera too. No worries, Tids. You take care. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. And you are the resident supermod. Probably want that to be the darker colour actually, so I'll deal with that. Okay. So you can probably see on camera, not very easily because there's like landscape in the way, but there's certain bits on the pantaloons where I've kind of gone over with the wrong colour when I've been putting the pleats in. So I'm just trying to tidy that up a little bit. While I'm going through and essentially highlighting. Definitely want a bit of a highlight here. A lot of a highlight here. It doesn't look like it's making a lot of a difference, but I think it will make all the difference once it's done. Silly as that may sound. That little bit of a difference will make everything just fit nicer. There we go. There we go. Much tidier. Ta-da! Further away. There we go. Found an old White Dwarf screenshot on how to make Eldar Corsair conversions. Uses a lot of old fantasy bits like high elf bodies, long coats, and Empire State Trooper arms. Oh, that's really cool, Rocket. It is a good Crumpin song, isn't it? You can thank AO for this. Finally getting my hair cut next weekend, so the plan is to get some beers and watch either The Godfather or The Untouchables with Dad. Oh, nice! I hope you have a lovely time when you do that. Yeah, that looks a lot cleaner now as well. Like, just putting that extra layer over the top has made everything look a little smoother, and I'm much happier with it now. Question is, do I want to stick the bustle on before I paint the rest of it or not? Oh, look at that. That looks lovely. I'm really pleased with how that's come out. May even order a curry. Very nice. Lovely stuff. I suppose I've got some bits on the back that could do with... I just noticed this and decided to fix it. Technically using the wrong brush for this, really, but it's fine. I've used the Psycho for much bigger projects in the past. Yeah. I suppose there's some bits that will probably need to have some depth putting in it, so we shouldn't put it on just yet because we won't be able to put the depth in. Oh, that's fine. Where has that gone? Ah, there it is. Silly me. We've got some bits here where the colour's not very even, so we're going to quickly cover those over with another coat. Nice and smooth. What's up, Porthos? What's up? What's my attention? When I'm done. Okay, we don't want too much of the pale there because that's going to spoil it. I've watered the pale down. As much as my paints are pre-thinned, I don't want this to go on too thickly here. I want it to be a really light touch. I'd rather have to go in a couple of extra times to get it to the correct brightness, as it were, than overdo it and then have to redo it. Oh, Mum, thank you very much for the hydrate. Deal with that in a moment. I hope you're doing okay today. Okay, I think we're good there. I'm gonna go for an even paler colour for That's weird. Vibing Cat didn't show up, did it? Oh, everything has just been moved randomly down by OBS, apparently. This is going to be awkward. Actually, the trigger fire stuff was okay, wasn't it? This is easier to type on my phone than it is to do it on Yeah, Mono, you're getting the shout out because yeah, that's in the right place, sort of. So it's not everything, it's just some things. The event list is fine where it is. Trigger fire could do with coming across a little bit, actually. Oh no, trigger fire needs to come up? No. Vibing cat definitely needs to come up. Oh no, trigger fire does need to come up. Yeah, it's just moved a bunch of stuff down. There we go. There you go. Excuse me a minute while I tidy everything up because I've updated OBS at some point since I last painted and it's now dribbling on its own shoes. I've left Vibing Cat running so I can make sure that it's in the right place. There you go. Sorted. I think we're good now. We're probably not. Firebot's not in that collection of things. That's why it's where it's supposed to be, unlike everything else. I'm gonna rerun an alert to see if that... Oh no, I can see the alert box is in the wrong fucking place. Jeez. OBS, don't fuck something up when an update comes out. Challenge 2023. Impossible. Okay, I think we're good now. Oh god. Technology is sent to test us, folks. But we're okay. We're good. Right. Where were I? Ah, yes, that's right. So we need a paler colour to really pick out the highlights. So what we need to do is get some more elfic flesh, and we're going to bring this up some more. I'm going to avoid just mixing it in with the paint that I've got there in case I need more of that to do like touch-ups or anything. Ooh, that's a lot of elfic flesh. I don't need that much, but it's fine. it's fine. I've just thought, is the chat box actually appearing? Or is that also not where it's supposed to fucking be anymore? Oh no, that's where it's supposed to be. Good. Just so afraid that everything's been moved around by OBS now. I've also got to do another coat of the mid-tone on here as well. So not getting rid of it just yet is a good plan. Oh, sorry, camera. Didn't mean to punch you. I'm gonna... You can only just see what I'm doing, unfortunately. I'm just gonna take some of the mid-tone and some of that huge blob of elfic flesh, mix them together until I'm happy that there's enough of a difference between the mid-tone and what is going to be our light tone. A little more. It's going to be mostly elfic flesh, but it'll be just different enough that we can use the elfic flesh as like a super white highlight. You don't have to paint things the way I paint things, for the record. This isn't me telling you that this is how you should paint. Heck, there are much more efficient ways of painting. But I find this method very cathartic. I enjoy it. And it's the method that works for me. If you are the kind of person that would prefer to spray base coat their minis, or not base coat their minis at all, or paint a shade on them, dry brush them, cover them in a wash, that's perfectly valid. You do what is right for you, what is comfortable for you. This is just how I do it. I love this tune. I'm guessing it was Rocket that put it in. Okay, Psycho is the wrong size brush for this. I want something a little bigger. So I'm going to go with the Insane Detail brush, which is the next size up. It's looking a little mangled, but that's okay. So I'm going to put a tiny drop of water in with my paint so it's nice and thin. But again, I don't want the coverage on this to be too heavy. And if I do feel like the brush is overloaded and I've already put the paint on, I'll just rub it off with my thumb like I did there. You know what? I'm actually going to add this to my regular rotation. Oh, I already have done, apparently. Never mind. It's a really good tune. It's got really good energy for something like this, I think. See, that's making so much difference already. believe I never knew this was a White Stripes song. Heard it in adverts. Where do dwarves keep their lists? Keep lists of their confectionery. I don't know. The Book of Fudges. Oh dear, Cyborg.
You serious?
Oh no! Mormons!
Okay, I don't know about you folks, because I know it's kind of hard to tell because it's just like a pale colour, but I'm quite happy with how this looks. I need to put some dark shades in. Play the VOD back, you can see the exact moment Tan dies inside. Yeah, you can. It's the moment I pressed go live. Okay, yeah, I'm good with that. I think that's it. If I do too much more, I'm gonna overdo it. So this needs. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Again, hard to see on stream, I know, but can I make it easier to see? No, no, I can't. Try though I might. It is very subtle. That's another thing. A lot of folks like to go for like really big, strong contrasts when they're shading something, and I like to go for subtle shading, which both is fine. I actually think that, like, I follow a lot of people that do the strong shading techniques, and I think their work is absolutely fucking gorgeous. But I like the way I paint things. So I'm not gonna expect myself to paint the way other people do, but I'm also not gonna expect other people to paint the way I do. Right. Get the second layer on these. I think we can go back to the where is it? Lost it. No. I think we can go to the character brush for this. Actually, no, because it's a little wild. We'll use the standard brush. should be about done with the yellows soon. Oops. Sorry, camera. This is really difficult to do because the piece is so tiny. I'm really glad I've got nails, otherwise it'd be impossible. I don't know if they're expecting people to actually assemble the miniature first, but I don't like doing that anymore because I can't get my paintbrush into all the crevices. It bugs me. Even if you can't see where it's not been painted, it bugs me because I know it's not been painted. And it's a me thing. I know it is. I'm very rarely a perfectionist these days because I know trying to chase perfection is only going to lead to disappointment. That there'll always be somebody that is better at things than I am. But I can be happy with what I've got and what I'm capable of and how far I've come. So I have come a long way. No worries, Modhel, you take care. It's been lovely to have you here today. Enjoy your time in the Lurkers Lounge. I hope the household stuff goes quickly. I've come to realise as I've gotten older that, you know, being the best of the best of the best, sir, with honours at absolutely everything is something that is beyond me. And I'm sure there's people out there that can be like that, but I'm quite happy to just be average and to love the things I love and share those things with you folks. And remind you all that you don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to be good at something. If you enjoy it, that's what matters. I've only got to the point I'm at with my painting by practicing. You know? I wouldn't say I'm that good. I think I'm better than I was. And I think I am more willing to take risks than a lot of other hobbyists. Particularly when it comes to trying new things on a miniature and learning new techniques. And I think that makes it look like I know what I'm doing, when in fact, I have no idea. I haven't the fucking foggiest what I'm doing. I'm just hoping it works. And if it doesn't, hey, I learned something new. The something new being that whatever it was didn't work. Oh no, that is the miniature, isn't it? Oops. A huge mess on the mini. Don't make mistakes here. Happy accidents. Oh, now this is a fucking tune. Did somebody put this in? Or, is it just onto my stuff now? No, somebody put this in. Thank you, whoever put this in. I adore this song. I think we're done with the mid-tone yellow. It's a very good song. In all honesty, everything on this album is great. There's a track on here called, I always get the name of the song wrong because it's a bit of a long one. What, Porthos? What? With love to Bob Ross or something like that. And yes, I know what you're probably thinking. Of course you like it. It's about Bob Ross, but it's not specifically about Bob Ross. It's about the band growing up with Bob Ross and the positivity of that and wanting to go into art and eventually going into music instead and keeping the sort of mantra, the ideologies of Bob Ross as they move into music rather than painting. And as somebody that really likes music and really likes painting and grew up with Bob Ross, it resonates. It really resonates. And it's just a really fucking good rap as well. You need to go out, Porthos. Okay, I have a thing for this. Hang on a second, folks. I got slow to let him out. And while I was doing that, I unblocked my Araman Blue, which is now peeing everywhere. Oops. I'm just going to put that spare drill bit there. I'm going to... Oh, squelchy. I did give this a shake before I opened it, but apparently that's not really done much. Yeah, Gym Class Heroes, really fucking good band. Really solid rhymes. And just... Some of them are kind of depressing, but overall, just really enjoyable music. Even the depressing tracks are really good. They're just, depressing. I'm gonna go back to the Psycho, because what I'm about to do requires the Psycho. If anybody wants to up the Psycho counter by typing !Psycho into chat, they are welcome to do so.
Look at that
Oh,
subtle
spot
off-white
on.
coloring. The tasteful thickness of it.
Thank you, Soup. Yeah, that little mishap with the dropper bottle has resulted in there being a lot of this paint on my palette. It's fine, because I'm going to need it for the green. Checking we're still on camera. Being very stubborn. Yeah. This one will be easier. Say that, I'm gonna mess it up anyway, aren't I? Yeah. My brush just went a bit wild there. That's okay, I can fix it in a minute. So just clean the blue off. And as if we were adding some Tipex on top of a word we spelt wrong, we're just gonna very carefully apply a couple of layers of the mid-tone yellow there. And once that dries, it'll be the same colour as everything else. Or just barely the same colour. Let's get a bit more. Yeah. Fixed it. No one will ever know. Except for you folks. And me. But we won't tell, right? We've got a tiny little speck of yellow in amongst the turquoise there, and it's bugging me. Sorry, this probably doesn't look too good on stream, but it's very fiddly to do at the best of times. Trying to do it on camera so you can actually see what I'm doing is even harder. I'm trying though. This is so fiddly. Interesting one. Considering I finished listening to Good Omens the other day, audiobook. Was appropriate. Okay, this is going to need some touching up. That's fine though. These kind of sleeves, do you think they're warm? I can tell you with the utmost certainty that they are. So I have had more than one outfit with this kind of sleeve. One of the many reasons I didn't wear those outfits very often is because I'm already naturally too warm. Like, I'm wearing a t-shirt and dungarees in Scotland, and I've got a fan on because it's too hot for me. These kind of sleeves, toasty. Because they're not a single layer. Not only have you got pleated fabric there, but you've also got another layer of fabric underneath the pleat, keeping the sort of puff of the sleeve there. So there's quite a lot of insulation. The other reason I didn't wear them very often is because they took ages to put on. I always go dad mode when I see clothes armors and models, especially. I'm like, hope you're warm enough. Yeah, it's really bad with a lot of femme armor, especially in video games. There's a couple of notable exceptions, obviously, but yeah. I have that problem with Monster Hunter a lot of the time. I'm just like, oh, she's not going to be warm enough in that, is she? I hope she's taking a big coat. Spoilers, she never takes a big coat. But yeah, I also go fantasy parent mode. When it comes to stuff like that. There we go, that looks better. This one feels a little around the edges. Where was it? I've lost it. I lost my grip on the mini. Well, what little of a mini is here right now. Yeah, it's this one. That's fair, but otherwise I'm like, please just put on a scarf, yeah. Okay. That one we've done all the puff sleeve work we can really, other than highlighting on the yellow. I'll do in a minute. Get the turquoise on this done. I think once I've done sleeves, I might finish up there. This has been a productive first day of painting after a hiatus, I think. I don't know if I'll paint next Wednesday. It might be a thing where I either alternate between painting and doing RuneScape, or I paint most of the time and then play RuneScape when I'm feeling too tired to paint or something like that. Because I did promise you folks I would do all my RuneScape quests on stream, and I'm kind of approaching a point where the only way I'm going to be able to level some stuff up is if I actually do some quests. Oops. See if we can take some of the excess off on our thumb. We managed it. Good. I'll do that up in a minute. Also, staring at these tiny pieces for as long as I have been is making my eyes cross. This is a much different beat and rhythm to Hi-Fi Rush. Yes. I do want to get back to that though, because I really enjoyed that. I've played a little bit more on my offline stream. That's offline save even. But I'm looking forward to getting back to it to showcase it for you folks. Really am. So this one's going to require a lot of touching up, and that's okay. It happens sometimes. Especially with these tiny fiddly bits. And I do think, and I was saying this to Mono earlier, during his Hi-Fi Rush stream, I do think I'm probably going to put Hi-Fi Rush into my speedrun stuff. So, yet another game for me to learn. Get it ran! I think it'd be really fun to speedrun it. Like, it's already a very fast-paced game. It's a very kinetic game. And they do tend to be quite fun to speedrun. Yeah, I was looking up current times for it yesterday when I first started having this idea, and the easy mode runs are currently clocking in at around the 2-hour mark. And I can already think of some ways I could probably save some time. One of them is not stopping at every hey Nikki, welcome on in, I hope you're doing well. One of them is not stopping at every possible opportunity to admire the scenery, which is always a problem for me because I love admiring the scenery in video games. You know, someone put a lot of time into that, you may as well appreciate it. Except for in Silent Hill, where everything's covered in fog, and if you stop for too long, you will die. Unfortunately. Because I would love to just be able to appreciate the scenery in that. So, I think there's an infinite health cheat for it, so maybe I'll just load that in and it won't be a problem anymore, and I can show you folks around properly. But anyway, yeah. And you might have noticed on Sunday that I was like, oh, I could use this as a speedrunning technique. Oh, this is faster than that. So I was already sort of in the back of my mind, clearly thinking about it then. Yeah, I think it'd be really fun to run. And I don't think I'd be very good at running it. I don't think I'd be sort of top 5 or anything like that. Don't even think I'd be top 20, because I'm top 20 for DuckTales, but I also think it's going to be one of those games that has a lot of runners. So, but for me, speedrunning isn't about being the best. Again, it's not about being the best of the best of the best with honours. Just like anything else, just like painting. It's about having fun. And I do have fun doing speedrunning. So it gives me an opportunity to puzzle out new ways to play a game that I love. There are some games that I adore but will never run because they're like 4+ hour long runs. And I'm gonna need to pee in that time. Fuck that noise. I'll leave those for the pros that can cope for that long, sitting down without being able to really move properly. There's lots of other games I'd like to try running. I'd like to potentially get into running Transistor as well. I've become part of the community of one of the big Transistor speedrunners, and it's just a lovely community, really wholesome, really welcoming. And I already adored the game, but seeing all the ways that you can, frankly, fucking break it makes me very excited. So I might do that at some point as well. There's lots of things. I still want to run Narita Boy as well, but there aren't really any runners for that. There's one person that submitted a run on speedrun.com, but they did it in the hopes of encouraging other people to submit runs, and else did. And I'm not in a position to submit a run yet. One day. Oh, Nikki, thank you for the treat for me. Deal with that in a moment. Oh yeah, for those that were here for the package delivery, the package is more sweets for the treat jar. I was running very low. So I got the cheapest bag of sweets I could from Sweet Punks. Have got that to put in my treat jar later. I do appreciate that you folks so often give me treats. Very kind of you. Also, the treat is so something nice in the taste of paint. I don't mind the taste of this paint, to be honest with you. It doesn't really taste of much, but thank you. And that is a hazard of working with such a tiny brush, is I have to fix the bristles so often. Okay, I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there. Oh, that one's a bit messy. That too. But getting the right balance between yellow and turquoise where the pleats are is difficult. Yeah, set up a little bit. One last little bit. And then treat jar. Okay. I think that looks okay. Thank you again, Nikki, for the treat for me. It will be, because I know what they're called now, a rhubarb and custard. Can you believe that's what they're called? They're just called rhubarb and custards. And I really like them. I didn't think they ever tasted particularly rhubarby, but they're nice. And to be fair, they do taste nicer than paint, even though the paint doesn't really taste as much. Right. I'm gonna have a little sip of my drink. And then we're gonna get some highlighting on this yellow, and then I will send you off to somebody. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the jukebox redemptions, and then once the things that are already in the jukebox are done, it will just be my music. I hope you don't mind. But that's just to avoid disappointment for anybody that wanted to request things. No, we've already done that bit. Ooh. We've made some really good progress today, and I'm really happy. I was a little worried that, because it's been so long since I painted this guy, it'll be sort of alien to me by now. Oh, we need the insane detail, not the psycho for this. So let's give the psycho a little bath. Clean the paint off of it. Have to be really careful with the psycho because it's so small. This is the psycho for anyone that doesn't know. Their tiny brush. You have to be very, very careful when you're cleaning it because if any paint builds up at the edge here, it completely ruins your ability to actually paint anything with it. That is my second psycho because I didn't think about that with the first psycho and I ruined it. See, like here, look. That little bit of paint build up on this brush. Not so much of an issue, but on the psycho, yeah, it ruins the flow completely. I'm actually gonna remove that before I start painting. May as well keep it tidy. Okay. Yeah, we're good. We're good. A little bit of water to loosen the lightest yellow up. Had some really fantastic tracks in the jukebox tonight, folks. Thank you very much. Wonderfully diverse selection of tunes as well. I know I say this every time, but that is one of the things I love most about having an audience-controlled jukebox. So I get to hear all the things that you folks like. Sometimes they turn out to be the things I like. But even when it's not stuff that's already in my playlist, I think there's only been a couple of occasions when I've just been like, nope. Thank you, Pudlord. Very kind of you. Okay, if you are the kind of person that likes going to gigs, and you find yourself in a position to do so, go and see Lordy live. You won't regret it. They are so much fun live. They know exactly what they are, they know exactly how people see them, and they fucking lean into it hard. But they have really good production quality on their shows as well. Like, if you thought what they had for Eurovision was good, you haven't seen anything. Absolutely fucking amazing. Just a really good tune. Yeah, that'll do. It's difficult to do the fancy highlighting stuff subtly on pieces this small because it works really well on these bigger pieces, but that's because they're bigger. Feral. I couldn't remember what that bit was called. And yes, it can ruin the brush. You are 100% correct. Oh, I've noticed a bit that should have been turquoise and isn't. We'll have to fix that before I can finish up. But yeah, look after your brushes, and they'll look after you. Even if they're cheap and cheerful ones, look after them. The extended version. I don't think that's true. No one else bothers to. Suppose that doesn't fit as well in the song, does it? Okay, I think we're good on the turquoise front. I think we're good on the yellow front. So, next time, whenever next time is, not saying next week, just in case. I'm trying very, very hard not to put too much pressure on myself to paint every week, because I know it's not necessarily doable for a number of reasons. And I would advise the same of you folks. Painting can be very therapeutic. It can be very cathartic. But if you put pressure on yourself to do something, even something that you enjoy doing and that you find relaxing, it turns it into a chore. And the only reason I don't feel that way about streaming in general is because when I don't feel like playing a game that I've been playing on stream, I play something else. We put an inordinate amount of pressure on ourselves to do a lot of things. Painted till she lost use of one of her arms yesterday and had to do nothing today. Oh, Nikki, silly bun. See, I've done things like that before, but it's been a I'm in the zone, I'm enjoying painting, so I sit on the floor for 7 hours painting one single Eldar mini because I'm having fun with it. But that's very, very different from I've signed up for a keep track of how much you're painting each week thing, or I'm doing a painting vlog and I need to paint X amount every week. There's guilt and shame about new minis while not painting old. Oh, yeah. I've got a dose of that coming. I've got to admit, I've already had some new minis come recently, but I've got the Monster Hunter board game coming in the next month or so, which is just a fuck ton of really cool minis. I backed it on Kickstarter specifically so that I could paint the monsters. So that's gonna be getting me a little bit, but I'm gonna try really hard not to put pressure on myself to try and get everything done and painted. I will get there eventually. Yeah, yeah, I get you, Nikki. Get you, believe me. Part of the reason it's taken me so long to come back to painting, despite having done a bunch of things to improve my mental health after a really nasty dip. It's bad with Kill Team. Oh yeah, that's fair though. Did you get the goodest boy? Is because I kept saying to myself, okay, I've done all of these things. I'm feeling better now. I need to paint on Wednesday. I'm a little jealous, Nikki. I didn't get any because I can't really afford them at the moment. The only reason I got the minis I got the other day is because I'd already paid for them a year and a half ago. But I'm not spending money on minis at the moment because I can't afford to. Which will help with the backlog. Yeah. But I was putting pressure on myself because I'd done all of these things. I was putting pressure on myself that I needed to paint again because I'd done all of these things to improve my mental health. And that's not a good thing to do to yourself, especially not about something that is supposed to be a hobby, a relaxing hobby at that. So I will paint on stream again. There will be more hobby happy hour in the future, but whether it's every week or not is up in the air. I will paint when I feel like painting. And it might not always be on stream. I may get some more work on him done on off stream days or like Saturday afternoon or whatever when I feel like doing it. And that is okay. I need to keep reminding myself that as much as I love sharing things with you folks, I love streaming new games for you and you getting to see my reactions to things and seeing the progress on something. I don't have to share all of it with you. Me Too, Mono. It's a fucking great song. And I don't think you folks are going to be mad if I paint some more of the Flower Night and then next time I do a paint stream I can go, hey look, this is what I did in true Blue Peter fashion. Here's some I painted earlier. You know? I don't think you'd have a problem with that, but my brain gremlins keep telling me you will, so I don't do it. And I need to just tell the brain gremlins to fuck off and let me get on with my life. Frankly. So this is a hobby who is giving something up for Lent. I am giving up putting pressure on myself over things that I don't need to. I promise whenever I do any extra stuff outside of streaming, next time I stream, I will not only do the Blue Peter line, I will get the Blue Peter theme tune as a sound alert. That is something I will do tonight while I'm eating my dinner, is I will find the Blue Peter theme tune and I will make it into a sound alert specifically for those occasions. Yeah. This is the first time I've ever given anything up for Lent. I am giving up putting pressure on myself needlessly. There is enough shit in the world putting pressure on me as it is. I shouldn't add to that. And I strongly encourage you folks to do the same. Give up putting pressure on yourself for Lent and see how you feel afterwards. Heck, if you don't want to do it for Lent, just do it. See how it goes. Of course, Torpor. I mean, I'm going to take a photograph of what's been done tonight and put it up on Instagram, as I always do after a painting stream. So you'll have that progress, and I'll probably, if I do any off-stream painting, I'll upload the progress photos to Instagram anyway, because I like to do that. I like people to see the full process. Hey, Kian! I am so sorry, we're going to be finishing up very shortly. I'm just sort of on a bit of a ramble about taking better care of myself, and folks should follow suit, basically. So I should probably shut up. It was really good to get back to painting today. This has been a really nice chill stream. I had a bit of a rough day, but getting to do this has been very, very nice, very satisfying, and I'm so glad to be back working on the flower night again and finally getting close to the end with him, as it were. And actually feeling good about the work I've done on him too, because, and I don't say this very often, you know how I feel about myself and about the work I do in terms of mini painting, but I think he looks pretty good. I think he looks quite nice. I think I've done an okay job. I think I've done a good job. No, I'm gonna say it. I think I've done a good job. In fact, in some instances, I think I've done a fucking great job. I am actually quite proud of myself for how he's turned out so far. And I'm not going to listen to the voice in the back of my head that says, yeah, but you've not finished him yet, you've still got time to fuck him up. I'm going to ignore that voice, and I'm going to say to myself, no, he looks good. And if I've done this much, and done well on this much, I can fucking finish him, and he'll look good. Some very flamboyant trousers. Yes, he's a very fancy man. Very fancy man. Thank you, Sinister. Yeah. I'm gonna stop listening to the Brain Gremlins. And I know I'm in a good headspace, so I can say that right now and mean it. Thank you, Nikki. And I might not always be in a headspace to be able to say that, but I'm gonna fucking say it now. And you folks can remind me that I said that when I start doubting myself again. And I will remind you that I said it if you're doubting yourself. Because we're all capable of producing something that we can go, yeah, I did a good job on that. No, I did a fucking great job on that. I know we are. I believe in every single one of you. You're all fantastic, wonderful, creative people in your own right, in your own way. We've got some fantastic musicians in chat, or we did. I don't know if they're still here and lurking. We've got amazing artists, talented writers. We have such a wonderful creative community, and you are all so fucking amazing. And I am never going to let you forget that. Right. On that note, I think it's time I sent you off to someone else. I know I've got some bits and bobs I need to do first. But we'll go to the ending screen.
Goodbye.
You're most welcome, Rocket. I need to see. Oh, okay. So, there is a giveaway active on the stream. Today's is for a copy of a game called A Blind Legend. This is an audio game.
Goodbye.
You play The Blind Legend, I guess. I haven't played it myself. It looks fascinating. We have one person who has entered already. If anybody else wants to enter, give them a bit of a run for their channel points. Now is your last chance before I finish up the giveaway for that. See you on Friday, Torpor. You take care. And you're most welcome, Mono. I hope you have a great evening too. And you're most welcome. And heck, if you had a good time in the little that you've caught, that's all that really matters to me. Okay, so giveaway. If you want to enter, !ticket will get you your ticket. You can purchase up to 10 tickets by saying !ticket, space, and then the number, up to a number of 10, obviously. And you have the time it takes me to faff about with my mouse that's on the other side of my desk. Plus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little bit for the lag. The giveaway is closed. And our winner, with a 50% chance to win, is Monologued. Congratulations, Mono. I believe that's the first time you've won a game in the giveaway. I will send you the code via Discord in a little bit while I'm eating my dinner. Congratulations, Mono. Right, I will be back on Friday. I will be playing some more Hi-Fi Rush, because holy shit, I need to play more of that for you folks. I'm really hyped for it. I've been really enjoying it. Honestly, I don't think I'll go back to Party Hard. I was having fun with it, and then I just wasn't. So I've got some stuff lined up that I want to get set up with crowd control, so maybe we'll do some crowd control stuff after Hi-Fi Rush is done. Because that just expands the amount of community-based games that we can play, I think. And it's very exciting as far as I'm concerned. Okay, do I need to tell you anything else? I don't think so. So now I'm going to find someone to send you off to. Let's see who we've got. Let's go with... So many people live tonight. I'll tell you what. We don't do this very often. We don't get the chance very often. We're gonna go and see Resident Supermod. Big Butch Goth Girl, aka Tidders. Tids. Goth. Whatever you like to call it. they seem pretty chill with anything. Who's playing a little bit of Destiny 2. Will be a chill time filled with lore and some very solid plays. Tids is a very good Destiny player. Right. So, I'll be back on Friday, as I said. But till I see you all next, be that Friday or any other time, I want you to take care of yourselves, take care of each other, wash your fucking hands and your paintbrushes, and have a wonderful rest of your week, everybody, however you're spending it. Now, go say hi to Tids for me.